beginning in the United States, Ira Magaziner famously declared the private sector must lead. He led to a real embrace of this multi-stakeholder idea, but to be blunt, it was a little bit of a ruse, because from the very beginning of the internet, we had critical legislative activity, critical judicial activity taken by governments around the world, the United States and other governments, that established the necessary conditions for the internet economy and the internet society that we know about to flourish. We got free speech protection for the internet from the U.S. Supreme Court. We got liability limitation for internet platforms that led to hundreds of billions of dollars of economic activity from an act of the U.S. Congress. We had copyright law that was changed to create a stable environment for, again, for the internet platforms. So none of that was multi-stakeholder. The FTC in the U.S., I think, with a brilliant strategy, established an evolving and dynamic set of privacy norms, certainly in talking with a lot of stakeholders, but it was not a multi-stakeholder process. It was a government-led process. So I think the question is, why do we have this kind of multi-stakeholder craze now, led particularly by the Obama administration? A number of individuals, past and present, are here. I think, and I want to give an example of just a couple of steps that were taken in the spirit of multi-stakeholderism, but with a particular kind of attitude. A lot of people in this room worked on putting together the Consumer Privacy Bill of Rights, which had a twofold function. Larry Strickling referred to it, a twofold function. Number one, it was meant as a legislative blueprint. It was the model that we felt the U.S. Congress ought to enact in answer to Chairman Ramirez's call for federal privacy legislation. But it was also a guide to multi-stakeholder policy-making initiatives that Larry Strickling is now leading, even though he says he's not, at NTIA. And why did we need that? Because I believe very strongly that while the internet institutions have an inherent legitimacy to do their job, to continue the evolution of the internet technology, I think we really ultimately have to look to governments to guide policy-making processes, such as what should we do about privacy. I think that the NTIA is making enormous progress on things like mobile transparency, but I believe that would not be possible without some guidance from the government. I don't think that the right way to think about, well, the way that we should think about multi-stakeholderism as a tool for developing answers to policy questions such as privacy or security or copyright